All right, so I'm still tied up. I got prop wash, pushing this grass out of here. It's working to a point. Got a little eddy going on, but it'll go away eventually. Yeah, I'm worried it's going to clog up my AC intake. All right, so this is Joliet. So you're planning on doing the loop. Let me get up here. It's a free wall. Each one of these pedestals here, they open up, you get free power. It's got light, it's on a boardwalk. I don't know what's around, I didn't look. But that's that. If you plan on doing the loop, Joliet. Bridges, there you go. Well, it's not going to take 5 minutes to open up, but the bridge is going to open up for that tow coming up. All right, I got to get things moving. Get out, get on, not on the road, on the river. So I passed this tow up in a tight corner up there. It's 3 barges wide, 1, 2, 3, 4 deep, and I wanted to get in front of the guy because I knew there was a lock coming up, but he's got priority, so he's another 2 hours behind me. The lock master, they're gonna cut him in half, do a split. Lock master said it's probably gonna be 5 hours, so it is 4:15 now. I'm not gonna get in the lock until 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. And my anchorage is another 3 or 4 hours beyond that. And this little spot here I'm at is just all jet skiers, tubers, a bunch of boats are rafted up over there. There's a Lizzie Lane coming. I don't want to drop anchor just yet because I don't know how wide she has to swing to come in here. I don't want to get in her way. But so I'm going to hang out for another hour. Hopefully she passes me up. The lock is back there. There's a dam right behind me. Once I see how wide she's going to swing, then I'll drop anchor and hang out 4 or 5 hours. It is what it is. All right, so I spent the night at the lock last night. The lock master got a hold of me about 10:30 last night on the radio. Said I was next in line to go through, and I said don't worry about it. I had a nice movie going. I just pulled a pizza out of the oven, had a bag of popcorn on my lap. I said I'll just spend the night. Well, I've been getting things done all morning, you know, giving him time to clear things up. Checked the AS, made sure no one was around. Wasn't gonna wait for any more tows to be cut in half. I just got a hold of the lock master, said, okay, let's do it. What's your schedule looking like? Give me a lockdown. And their response was, oh, we're busy right now. We're doing something. Call us back in an hour. What? Okay. So hopefully it's maintenance and they're not just playing cards over there. But that's that. Stayed at the lock last night. I'm going to lock through here about an hour and continue on. All right, the wait, another 20-25 minutes on the lock. Just heard on the radio, just upriver me, there's a fleet of 9 loopers coming down here. So we all got to get in there and raft up together. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if you can see them or not. We'll get closer here in a minute. But there's 9 boats, look like all trawlers. There's 1 power cat, 2 power cats, 3 power cats. I see 3 power cats, and there's 1 sailboat with the mast on top of the sailboat. All right, I'm gonna pull anchor and start floating, get ready to go. All right, the lock had maintenance this morning. We finally got through. 9 boats locked in with me. They're doing the loop together. So now I'm a part of their flotilla now. I figured that would happen. You would eventually get bunched up, and the flotilla is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as you travel down the loop. So yeah, there you have it. It's my first flotilla. There's 10 of us. The yachts are all spaced out going down the river. It's kind of funny, actually. But anyway, I'm on the move. I think this is day 3, I think. Yeah, day 3. All right, so check this out. When I was originally planning on moving the boat from Ohio to the Gulf, I was originally going to go down, I was going to go north, but go down the St. Lawrence Seaway. But that was like, I think it was 2,200 miles out of the way. I was getting a late start for the year. I found out that it froze. I didn't think that it would freeze like that. So I didn't want to get 2,000 miles up there and then I get stuck. It had a lot of advantages to it though. A, I could keep the mast up. It's like $6,000 to ship the mast from Cleveland on a truck to Mobile. I would have saved that expense. I'm going to have $3,000 or $4,000 in fuel. I would have sailed the entire way on the St. Lawrence. I would have saved 10, 12, 15 grand easy in expenses going the St. Lawrence Seaway. But I would have had to wait another year, and then I would have had, I would have had to go overseas to the Philippines for 5 months and go diving all winter, and all these expenses would have came up. So I decided to go down the river system, the inland river system. And I worked the river system for 25 years. I dove this for 25 years, all of it. And I figured, well, I'm going to go down memory lane. I'm going to see the job sites. I'm going to go past the job sites that I did 10, 15, 20 years ago. Well, I don't plan anything. I don't route anything. I have no clue where I'm going throughout the day. Today I pull anchor. I start looking at the map. Okay, should I take this fork? Should I take that fork? It all goes to the Gulf eventually, so I'll figure it out. Well, I noticed about an hour ago, I'm going through Marcel's Lock. And in 2014, I did a huge, high-profile dive job up here. I think it was 2014. I'm getting closer to it while I'm talking to you, so I'll turn around and show you. Now, so there's a dam in front of me. The river had flooded, and a bunch of barges broke free. I don't recall how many barges broke free. It was a lot. And they hit the dam. And they got stuck in the gates. They couldn't close the gates. The town flooded. And FEMA was out here. They had FEMA camps out here. It was a mess. The town was underwater. The Army Corps was trying to build like levees behind the dam in the river with riprap, trying to pump the water out as it came through the gates they couldn't close. But what I was doing up here is the barges were all piled up. Some of them were sticking through the lock, some were piled against it sideways. The water was just white water, just absolute white water, just rolling over top the barges and going over the barges and through the gates they couldn't close anymore. Well, we couldn't salvage the barges until we lightered the barges. So the barges had sheet steel on them, and I don't remember the length of them. They may have been 10 foot wide by 25 feet long. They were big. And some of them were 3 inches thick of solid steel, some were 1 inch thick. And when they put them in there, I'm gonna slow down, they were on cribbing, they were on gunnage. So they had wood in between them. Well, when the barge turned sideways and hit the dam and the water rolled it over, they all piled up. And some of them were on top of each other. So for 1 month, I went inside that. I would jump in the water 15, 20 foot waves blowing over my head. I would try and, we had cabling, I had a slide across cabling so I wouldn't get swept down through the dam and fall off the backside. To get inside the barges, I would get inside there, and I had a sledgehammer, and I would sit there and beat wedges in between the steel. I don't know what these things weighed, tons and thousands and thousands of pounds. I would just get them up high enough. I would take an underwater torch and then I would burn holes in them and beat shackles in them, and I would pull the sheet steel out one piece at a time. It took me a month to get all that out of there. And then I burned holes in the outside of the barges and all that white water, and then a smaller diver went inside the barges. We ran chains through the barges, we picked them up and we salvaged them. Now, I believe we have silverfish here because there's a ton of fish jumping out of the water.
I'm not going to get any closer than this. I'm going to turn around and show you. So that's as far as this camera will zoom in. But it was the two locks, the two gates on the left, I believe it was. It was on the left-hand side. And there's a pile of barges in there. And that's kind of, you know, that was a +1 for this trip, to go through and down memory lane, you know. So I was here for probably 6 weeks total, salvaging those barges. And during that time, a buddy of mine had bought a 65-foot Hatteras yacht in Chicago. I passed up the yacht broker on the way down here after I pulled my mast, and he had taken this exact route at that exact same time in that flood to take his yacht to Cincinnati. And he told me that the lock that I'm going to go through here in about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, it's down here on the left, the lock was completely underwater, wasn't there. You couldn't even see it. They saw it on the map, they just kept going. It wasn't even there anymore. So it was pretty bad. The water was pretty high. But that was a heck of a job. A couple of you guys on my Facebook page were on that job, I remember. One of you guys in particular, we shared a 77. That's my first time diving a 77. And I used to own one after that, but that was my first time diving one. And that Vortex regulator, I lost my voice. He lost his voice, and that'll do it to you the first time you dive a 77. But yeah, I remember that. Now, real fast, in case you're ever bored, you got a swimming pool. If you take the smallest hammer, the smallest little piece of crap, $1 plastic handle hammer, and you take that hammer underwater and you swing it underwater, those are muscles you don't use. You swing a hammer, you don't push a hammer. Underwater, you got to push it. So I remember telling a guy down here, he was getting his ass handed to him. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, man, and I said, he wouldn't tell me really. And I was like, well, I told him about the hammer. I was on the radio, he was underwater. And I was like, it's going to wear you out. I said, swinging a hammer underwater is the worst thing. You're going to feel like you've done 1,000,000 chin-ups. And he's like, oh, thank God, I thought it was just me. I thought I was weak. I was like, no, it's really bad. I tell guys all the time, you can take a bungee cord, hook it to your shoulder, hook it to the handle, and try and swing it topside, and that's what it's like underwater. But here I'm a little closer now. So yeah, we had the A-frames and our barges against these cells here, and it was those two gates right there. I remember it was at least 2 of them. The barges were all piled up in that corner right there, and the gates were up. And I know for a fact on the left, the far left gate, the barge was hanging through there. They could not get the gate closed. We had to lighter the material out of the barge. So we're in a barge hanging through that dam. I don't know what it is, 80 feet off the ground on the other side. Water just shooting out 150 feet, 200 feet off the back side like a pressure washer. And the water's boiling over the top of the barge. And we're inside that barge pulling material out for a month. And that's how it's done. All right, you probably saw us on Facebook. I'm at the Marcellus Lock. We got a traffic jam. I'm just surrounded by boats. There's boats behind me. There's a tow in the lock, a tow waiting for the lock, upriver, a tow waiting for the lock, downriver. I don't want to get the lockmaster on the radio. He knows we're here. He's probably getting upset. I imagine half these guys are probably, you know, every 5 seconds, hey, when's our turn? So I'm just going to leave it alone. It's 4:30 now. I motored down here in the corner. It's too shallow to get in there to drop a hook. I may go back up river, see if I can drop a hook. I may just spend the night. But I will radio him. I'm going to wait an hour before I drop the hook, and I'll get a hold of the lockmaster. If I can get through tonight, there's an island, 2 islands down there with little cuts in the island. And they're marked on my anchorage guide as good anchorage spots. So I guess there's enough water to get in those little cuts. That'd be kind of cool. So I don't want to do it in the middle of the night, but if I can get through here at a reasonable time, I'll run down there and anchor in those little cuts in those islands, and then I'll get out and walk the islands and get some, you know, stretch my legs a little bit or whatever in the morning or something. But That's that traffic jam. This is why it's going to take months and months and months. But hey, it's an adventure. Well, I was trying to get out of the channel. I was going just a half a knot, trying to get out of the channel. I ran the whole length of the channel. 2 feet of water, 3 feet of water, 2 feet of water under the keel. Got down to 8 inches, 9 inches, I'd pull out. Well, I'm aground now. I'm stuck in the mud. I'm trying to wiggle out. I'm just stirring it up. It's moving, it's starting to twist. It's gonna pull out. And I'm probably gonna have 100 pounds of mud on my wing keel, on my wings. But there you have it, stuck in the mud, trying to find somewhere to anchor. Here we go, here we go. I was getting ready to radio for help, pull me out. All right, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Now I gotta go real fast forward, get all the mud off my keel. Note to self, when it says you have 8 inches of water, you got 8 inches of water. All right, so I didn't like hit a rock or anything or a log. I just ran aground. It's real soft, silty mud, so it's a real smooth, stop. But only problem was, by the time, it takes a long time for this boat to go in reverse.
Coming on down in that opening, you'll see, and then
all right, I thought he was calling us to come in. So by the time I throw it in reverse and gun it, it still goes forward for like 60 feet. So it just slid in the mud like a slide, going through the snow. And I got hung up rock solid, and I wiggled and wiggled and wiggled for a while. And I turned the camera on and started to come out. And now I'm up here. There's a little park right here. Little park, restroom, picnic table, there's a grill, all kinds of stuff. I'm right against the trees. I'm in a very bad spot. I know, sailors, I'm in a very bad spot. That's the channel right there. There I am right here. I have 2 feet of water under the keel. That's all I got. And that's all I'm gonna get. I haven't committed to staying the night here yet. I don't want to blow into the trees in the middle of the night and get stuck up against the bank. Then I have to get the dinghy out and pull myself sideways and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit. A lot of the boats are leaving. They're going somewhere else. They're heading back upriver, probably to find a marina. So I'll hang out for a bit. And yeah, I don't really want to anchor here all night. I can see myself getting into some trouble at 2 o'clock in the morning with the wind shifts. But I don't know. Like I said, it's all part of the adventure. Oh, this is stupid. All right. So somebody decided to let us in. I didn't get the phone call. The hook was down. I made that little post, that little video clip. And then they're like, hurry up, hurry up. Someone decided to let us all through because there's so many of us. So we got to hurry up. And there's guys way up there at the dam I videotaped earlier. They already dropped anchor way up there. They're all turning around, heading back down this way. People are going past me, turn around, turn around. So I pulled my anchor up real fast as I could, and it pulls the boat in towards the trees. I run back here to throw it in reverse. Too late. I saw 6 inches, 7 inches, 4 inches, 3 inches, 2 inches, 0, boom. Hit bottom again. I'm getting out of this spot. I'm gonna go down there and I'm going to take my chances in the middle of the night, getting in a little cut in that island. What did I say this was? An adventure? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, this is the first. Got a 3 barge wide tow here, 3 barges there blocking the dock of the lock, and they're spinning around trying to get in there. Oh, great. I better get some line. This ought to be interesting. All right. There's the cut in the island I didn't expect there to be a dock back there. Maybe there's a house on the island. I don't know. I'm gonna go around the island and come back to the other side. There's a little cut. I'm gonna anchor over here. I'm gonna check the water depth. I'm gonna go around and come back into the current. I don't want to go down current and hit bottom. I'd rather go up against the current, hit bottom. Yeah, I think there's a camp, there's a dock there. Looks like they got fishing noodles out. Great. Well, I'm gonna try and squeeze in there. I'm gonna go around the island. This little island right there. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, good night. Ooh, 9 inches. Not happening. 8 inches. Oh my gosh. 7 inches. I'm not anchoring back here. I'm getting out of here. 9 inches. 1 foot. 14 inches. Yeah. It says 10 feet on the anchorage guide. No, I don't think so, Scooter. I'm out of here. I anchor somewhere else. So get this. Those guys over there in that boat, I'm back there making that video a minute ago, 6 inches, 7 inches, 9 inches, trying to follow my track to get back at it. It says 10 feet on the anchorage guide, but it's not. And get ready to hit bottom, and they're just flagging me down and waving and hollering and flagging me down and waving and hollering. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to you, I'm coming to you. And then they just won't quit waving. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming to you. And like, no. I was like, oh. So anyway, I went to them. Guy goes, man, there's a dam under the water. It was right in front of you. He goes, like 100 feet. I was like, what? He goes, there's a great big concrete dam underwater about 1 foot below the water, and you were going to drill it head on. I was like, are you? Nothing on the charts. Nothing. Wow. Man, that was close. That was close. All right. If you see me or not. All right, so I'm between two islands, different island. My anchor light's on, and I got mayflies. I haven't been here that long. I already got 50 mayflies in the back of the boat. If you don't know what a mayfly is, they're going to get so bad. I'm going to have to get a snow shovel out here tomorrow morning, and I'm going to have to get a leaf blower. They do that. They do that. I've seen municipalities with bobcats with street sweepers on them, big hydraulic brooms, leaf blowers, snow shovels, and dumpsters trying to get these mayflies. They're attracted to light. Let me show them to you. They are nasty, and they're going to be everywhere tomorrow. Here, let me get one for you. That's a mayfly. These little guys, they're all over my legs. They're everywhere. They're pointless. There's going to be 200 pounds of mayflies back here by tomorrow morning. Oh, I just sat on that one. Great.